Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, guess what? It's Tuesday. It's November 18th, 2014, and I am a vampire. Because I'm sparkly. Ooh. And I could just live in my natural habitat. Try to identify what's going wrong. My green screen is not elegantly set up today, for sure. So let's go ahead and be not a better video producer, but a better gamer today as we explore life's road to winning BlizzCon at this fine year of 2014, where in today's daily we're going to primarily be looking at Life versus San, the round of 8 match that caught everyone's attention, because most people were going to be saying, oh my god, Life, yeah, he's probably going to win that. But San had a 90% win rate versus Zerg over that. In fact, he hadn't lost a single game versus Zerg in WCS that year. That whole year, he didn't lose any of it, which is just, it's so crazy that it takes me back to when I used to live here. In the fuzziest room of all. And Life was, you know, a true god and still stomping through everyone. And San, looking like he was going to be a god slayer, not a chance. But I think what was interesting about this round of 8 is that it kind of set the tone starting off at BlizzCon. Because Life smashed San badly. He smashed him bad. And actually, oh my god, I have a thought. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to actually not look at the first game. We're going to do a little revealing test. We're going to do a little revealing test, and I'm going to one-hand this. We're going to open up anything. Blizzard maps, browse maps. Okay, come on. What I want to do is I want to showcase a little of why Life was able to crush San so badly by playing out a normal Protoss opening that's kind of scary. So let's see here. It doesn't matter what the map is. Let's just... Oh, Antigua Shipyard. Yeah, let me demonstrate this on Antigua Shipyard. What we're going to see Life do throughout the series is we're going to see Life go for 3 hatch before pool. Why? Why the hell would he go for 3 hatch before pool? That's scary, man. And to do this, we're actually going to go ahead against the AI. That seems very reasonable. We're going to make him orange because that's another color I like. And the point of this first game is to establish a baseline. Why the hell can Life go for fast 3 hatch before pool? And what I'm doing right now is something I'm going to be encouraging you to do at home throughout the entire show, to establish little baselines for yourself. Now, I'm actually not going to play fast because I'm trying to monitor chat and play the game and cast at the same time, and I just don't have the APM to spam myself in so many places. But what I'm going to do is not describe why I'm playing slow as a deficiency of me, but rather as to emphasize that you don't have to be fast to do this. You see how I did that? Look at how clever I am. Oh my god, I gained 50 experience from building that probe like a boss. Now, one of the things that you want to be doing when you're establishing a baseline is to ask yourself, what the hell is a baseline? What the hell is it that I'm trying to do? Well, with almost any strategy you think of, you'll freak out and go, oh my god, what if he X, Y, Z? You know, what if he goes for, I don't know, a fast expand? And then he goes for a 2 base all in. What if he tries to attack my third? What if? And as I've said before, it's more important to know your opponent's timings than to know your own timings. So if you're a Zerg, you want to be establishing a baseline for Protoss. That's right. As I am doing a daily about Life, I am also playing Protoss. What? Because I want to establish a baseline for some basic Protoss stuffs. Now, one of the most basic Protoss openings is to, here we go, is to just do a 1 gas opening. Actually, I'll go ahead and send this guy down here. Any of these rallies you totally don't have to do. It's super fine, doesn't matter. What we're trying to do in this particular baseline is ask the following question. If I am playing Zerg, and the Protoss player goes for some sort of gateway first opening, what then? If I go 3 hatch and he goes for a gateway first opening, do I lose to some sort of early pressure? Well, I'm going to do what many Protosses do and build the Zealot, and I'm even going to be bold and I'm not going to cancel it. Because, I mean, obviously if you're establishing a baseline, you don't want to do a false thing. I don't want to, like, queue up Zealots or build another gateway right now, because there is no Protoss player that I have ever seen in my life do that sort of thing. Whoops, I missed the rally. There we go. That's fine. So, whoa, I'm going to build Mothership Core, and I'm going to set my rally. I'm going to catch this pro beforehand, because I'm the boss, Sean. Aw, yes. So, I'm going to be doing this. I'm actually going to stop playing for a moment, just so I can focus on talking. Oh, that's right. Z doesn't zoom out. I'm not an observer right now. Oopsie daisies. Okay, so I have built all of this to establish some things, like this Mothership Core popping out at 4:15. This Zealot popped out when? Well, it popped out somewhere around 3:45-ish, 3:30. Depending on whether you whiffed it. Alright, like, and I'm just going to let this run for a little bit longer. And now I'm going to surrender. I just spent, what, 4 minutes and 46 seconds, which takes, like, no time at all. It was nothing. Oh, yeah, I forgot I turned my green screen off. Perfect. Let me go to my recent... Oh, my God, look at this beautiful recent replay that I have. I'm going to establish a little bit of a baseline to try to figure out when on Earth this first Zealot was popping out, when on Earth this first threat was popping out, and I'll just keep some timing stamps here. Timestamp is a great word. I actually am directly stealing that from the notable League of Legends streamer, Last Shadow, formerly of StarCraft 2 play. Many years ago I heard him use this phrase, and I just like it a lot. If he goes gateway first, when does it finish? Keep these little numbers in mind. Boom. Happens at 2:50. Right? Just keep that timestamp to yourself. Okay, now we have the cybernetics core getting constructed. You might say, well, what if the gateway immediately built a Zealot? I'd come back to you and say, show me a game where this Protoss player builds a Zealot. It's extremely uncommon. And you say, dude, Sean, I play in the lower leagues where people do whatever they want. And I say, okay, that's fine. Get the timestamp for that. Don't listen to all this bullshit about, you shouldn't do it, so don't worry about it. No, don't worry. Don't even worry in the slightest. Oops, we're out of focus. Oh my God, everything is wrong with this camera today. Yeah, just timestamp, just play through yourself, and figure out when it works. Wasn't that lovely? Getting in focus again. So here, I'm not worried about a Zealot first opening, because at my level, you just beat a guy who skips his cybernetics core. No big deal. Here, with someone who reasonably goes for gateway, then cybernetics core, 3:45 is when the Zealot pops out. When does the Mothership Core pop out? This is often chrono boosted. I totally whiffed this because I was talking. 4:15. 3:45 for this popping out. 2:50 for this popping out. 4:15 for this popping out. Oh my God. I love timing so much. This, therefore, will get us to answer the question, why the hell can Life get away with everything that he does in these games? We're going to identify, where is it? Global Finals, round of 8, San vs. Life, map 1, merry-go-round. We are now going to look at this game under a new light. Now, I'll make the statement right now. Life is going to go 3 hatch before pool. How the hell can he get away with that? What an asshole. If you're Protoss. If you're Zerg, you're like, what an inspiring asshole. I want to grow up to be that hole. I will be $100,000 richer, and I will have a name as audacious as life itself. Now, let's go ahead and remove San from here. Let's remove the production tab, and let's, now that we've established a baseline, figure out versus what we believe to be the most threatening thing, how this 3 hatch before pool thing goes. So 250 is when the gateway's done, right? Ever been scared about your early expand being threatened by gateway pressure? Well, 250 is when that sucker is done, assuming he went for it first. Whoa! Alright, so life is going to build a little bit more. Alright, now we're at 230. Alright. Uh-oh. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Boom. The hatch goes down when the gateway's done. The gateway finished at 250 and this is starting at 256. Is that bad? Well, Life seems to think not, as he has a World Championship trophy that is heavier than him. So we then ask ourselves, when does that Zealot pop out? The Zealot is going to finish. I'm actually going to park over the pool. The Zealot from a player playing reasonably, going for Gateway, and then Cybernetics Core, and then getting a Zealot and a Mothership Core. That reasonable play that gets the unit out pretty fast. That reasonable play has the Zealot coming out now. Oh. Well, how long does it take for a Zealot to go from here at the ramp to attacking this? It's about 30 seconds. So you might have a Zealot attacking you, and the Mothership Core is going to pop out at the main base if he went Gateway first right now. Are you starting to see why this is safe? We asked the simple question. Well, wait. If I go 3 hatch before pool, do I die if he goes Gateway first? And we've looked at this and we've definitively answered, no, not really. It's pretty safe against Gateway first. Now, I know there's many people who are in chat because I see it, because I saw it, because I use my eyes, because we structure the show as we go, because it would be insane to plan 90 minutes scripted. One of the big things is, well, wait, what about a cannon rush? Exactly, I would say. We don't describe strategies in vacuums. Is this strat good or bad? Sometimes we say that as a shorthand, but underneath there's all this stuff going on where we'd say 3 hatch before a pool is great versus a player who goes for Gateway first. He just can't threaten you in time. It does struggle versus cannon rushes, though, and that's simply a different puzzle to solve. How would you solve that puzzle? You set up another game of a baseline. Well, when would the forge be done? What would he have to scout? If he sent the scout to me first, what time would he get there? If he sent the scout to the other position and then to me, what time would it take to get there? And these timings can help establish when the threats will come. Now, we've been going for, 15 minutes, and all I've wanted to do is get to this point where we can talk, a little more freely. Oh, by the way, look at this. Oh, look at this. He did go Gateway first. Oh my god. He did go for the Mothership Core as fast as he could. I even actually think he built the Zealot and then canceled it. Isn't that right? Wait, let me back up just a skosh, just a smidge. He may have not done this. Yeah, look at, oh yeah, look at that. That's right. Why would you not? Is this muted? Do I have StarCraft muted? I have it muted. Jesus, I'm bad today. There's the Zealot. There he is. Look at him marching out. Look at him getting ready to get sent out. Boom. Fantastic. Now, let's talk from a meta strategy perspective. Why the hell would you ever want to go 3 hatch before pool? Because Protosses nowadays, they're going Nexus first and then Cannon. Some of them are going Nexus, then Gateway. Some of them are even going Gateway, then Nexus, and then Gas. Like a bunch of jerks. They're doing all these greedy plays. And what we see the output of these greedy plays from Protoss is that they get these attacks that happen at 9 minutes, at 10 minutes, that are so strong. So we just get a little greedier ourselves as Zerg. We gotta ask ourselves those questions. How do we deal with Gateway first? What happens if he builds a powerful zealot? And he rushes for the flying monstrosities? The mothership core. No problem, we got this. This popped out a little earlier. It was at like 3:30. Takes about 30 seconds to get from A to B, notably. And look at this. As the zealot doth arrive. Pool's done. It's done. We're going to take a little bit of damage against what could have perceivably been quite a big threat. Is actually not a big deal. Look at this zealot. Get out. Yeah, he can maybe kill a drone, but unlikely. His life is just going to retreat. And all's good in the hood. So this game right off the bat got me excited because Life was coming with a completely different mindset. He was getting ready to apply pressure to his opponent. He was getting ready to answer in a big way. And let me just generally give a recommendation to y'all. If you are looking for a general mindset to play in when you're laddering, try the greedier plays of taking more bases. Try to be good. Put yourself outside your own comfort zone, being greedy with your first 3 bases. If you're Zerg, and against Protoss, just try this out. Try 3 hatch before pool. If you are playing Protoss versus Zerg, early expand, get a gateway, and 1 Stargate, and then just take your 3rd. Like, be overly greedy, and here's what you'll feel. You will smash anyone who doesn't attack you. Those who do, you'll begin to see, wow, I can hold about half of these off. And the ones you can't hold off, well, you just back up a little bit. Instead of going 1 gate, 1 Stargate, expand, you go 1 gate, 1 Stargate, and then 2 more gates, and then you expand. And you start to go, oh, wow, this really works great. Try to be overly greedy, and then back off from it slightly for the defense. These puzzles will begin to be consistent themes that you are overcoming. Because remember, no matter what, if you can stay alive and get that 3rd base, you're going to be smashing him real frickin' bad. Now here is the dilemma that many a Zerg will have faced in this spot. So if you're a Zerg, you're going to be just vomiting on your hatcheries, being like a good old college queen and vomiting. And typically speaking, the struggle that Zergs will face is that Zergs want to build drones for economy. They want to get gas, though, to get roaches. I mean, hell, if someone went gateway first, you're really kind of going to want to get your cyber core getting warp gate immediately. So you're probably going to be attacked as Zerg. So a lot of Zergs, when they're realizing they're going to be attacked, they get gas, roach warring. Here's 3 drones that have to be structures. Here's 6 drones that have to be geysers, or geyser workers. So that's like 9 drones that are off mineral duty. Life's answer that I have loved is when he's under threat, he just delays the gas. He gets lings and queens. Tons of queens. And there's nothing tricky going on here. The moment Life has seen these gateways turning into warp gates, he's just building Zerglings. He's 28 drones. But very significantly, he also gets queens. Look at that money. Let's look at that queen production. It's going to continue to be poking up. And the queen's out. Boom! 2nd queen queued up, but there's an overlord blocking things up. There's 1 queen. I feel like another queen gets built here, but I might be crazy. Oh, look at this! Look at this! Back to drones! What? Back to drones? You have got to be kidding me. The Zergling's continuing to scout. What's actually happening is a mass warphead. Life, you know, if you see an out-of-position mothership core, assume the worst. It's totally fine. Alright. So look at this. Look at this very late set of geysers. Many Zergs rush to get these geysers for the Roach Warren. 5:30 building them to have them in time. Look at this. 7:15. Very leisurely. Accidentally losing the mothership core might, I mean, functionally it's huge, but for the purposes of holding off this attack, it's not that amazing. Dealing damage here is really sick. And now we actually see the outcome of all the stuff that Life was doing. I'm going to slow this battle down because there's no way we'd be able to process this otherwise. These beefy queens first sit in the front and soak up damage until the transfuses are used. That way the Zerglings are not getting targeted and the Zerglings have more time to be dealing damage. Queens are getting built at the front hatch. In the main base, even this guy's been brought down. Easy peasy. Now, look at production, because this is the interesting thing. It's just queens being made. Queens and Zerglings. Look at that. Nothing exceptional. Here's some nice reinforcement. If you can spot geysers, do it. That's grand to be able to see what's going on. But remember, Life didn't even sacrifice that many drones. He has a crap ton of queens, which are great in a lot of late game mixes. They're great in a lot of mid-game mixes. This is not building nothing but the slow roach and regretting it. Look, here's the hatch. Here's a Roach Warren. Again, this is kind of a just-in-case Roach Warren. It's not even really going to get used that much. And San is doing what many a good Gateway First Protosses are doing, and going absolutely bonkers, endlessly warping in. Now this battle is not close. I'm going to select the Queens. I'm going to select the Zealots. I mean, this is not close at all. So at no point in time do we look at this and say, my God, the thin defense of Life, who knew exactly when to build Zerglings and build drones. No, man, he just mostly built Queens. He built Zerglings because he felt threatened, but, you know, he was building a lot of drones throughout all this. And this is what I think is just the fantastic flexibility of this style from Life, of using Queens for early defense. I mean, it's just great. I will remind you of a play that is rarely done. Pushing with slow Queens and having Hydralisks behind. That's an absolutely incredible style. But let's speak from a more simple strategic perspective. If your opponent has done any aggression and messed up, Hydra Den is a beautiful choice. Normally Hydra Dens are bad because you can't attack with them. A Colossus that's too well placed, or Force Fields and Blink Stalkers that are too well placed, thrash Hydralisk attacks. But if your opponent messed up early on, he's not going to have that much stuff. So Hydralisks are the most well-rounded Zerg defense. They're good against air units. They're relatively good against small robo armies, again, outside of the Colossus. They're pretty damn good against gateway units. They're pretty good against dealing with warp prisms that, as we see, are getting built. They're just all-around solid stuff. So San, who's at a little bit of an advantage, especially upon having this third hatch, just does that. We see that mostly Zerglings have not been made. It's been mostly drones. Why? Because there's these beefy 8 queens. What is it? 8 queens? 8 queens on the field. So huge. These Zerglings don't even have speed yet. It's amazing. Yeah, so just Ling Hydra. Remember this Roach Warren? Nothing got built, man. Nothing got built, nothing got researched. Now we have Queens and Hydras and a soon-to-be-dead Protoss. An elegant game. Here's the attempted waltz up. In emergencies, roaches do get made. That's fine, because we need the roaches on the high ground. San left before anything eventful happened, as Life death marched his way to San's base. Oh, yes. So let's think about what we learned in this segment with my juicy verdant green behind me. We saw, before anything, this idea of establishing a baseline. We threw out a question. Well, what if I go 3 hatch before pool? What then? Don't I die to something like a gateway first? We just opened up a 1v1, played against a computer. It took like 4 minutes. We rewatched it. We remembered 3 times. And all those times we even got to forget because when we saw Life go for 3 hatch and then pool, we looked at the times and went, oh, he's safe. The only thing we have to remember is safe. We're safe against that. So good. And then as we watched this game, we saw Life's relatively simple decision-making after he goes 3 hatch to flood Queens as his defensive unit, when his opponent has messed up the early attack to go Hydras, and that these Queens aren't just early defensive Deuterinos, they're amazing at the aggro pushes. So, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to see Life vs. San Game 2. Oh!